Welcome back, everyone. We're going to learn a really nice little trick that DreamWeaver will make super easy to do. You could do this yourself in Notepad, but DreamWeaver makes it way easier. So let's see what it is. One of your projects you might be doing might be some sort of store, and you might have a products page. Now, on the products page, you might want to have a list of products that go down the page, but you might also want to have a list of products that looks a little bit more like this. You'll notice here the products just aren't being listed straight down the page. They're sort of in a grid where you have a square, there's some content, there's another one beside it, another one beside it, another one beside it, and if you have lots of products, then another square below it, and the pattern continues. It's like a big table grid. Well, that's exactly what we're going to learn how to make here in DreamWeaver is a table, so that when you want to show a whole bunch of content and you want to be able to position it on the page, you can use a table. It's very beginner, it's pretty simple, and it works for nice basic sites. So let's take a peek at in DreamWeaver how you end up doing this. Now, like I said, you could type the code in code view, but often with students, they don't like doing it. There's a lot of room for error. So I'm going to use DreamWeaver. So here I go. Insert a table. Now, when you insert a table, what you do is you have to choose how many rows. Now remember, rows go left to right, and how many columns. So let's do this. I'm just going to put 2 rows, 3 columns. Table width. We've talked a little bit in class about how 900 is a good width to do for a basic computer screen. I'll leave a border of 1 on for now, just so you can see the table, and that's really it. Let's hit OK and see what it makes. And there we go. There's our table. Now, it looks sort of ugly, but it'll look better once we actually see it in the web page. Here's what you can do. In this square, you can put whatever you want. So I'm just going to put a little bit of text like, I'll just put item 1. In that square, I'll put item 2. In that square, I'll put item 3. Now remember, you can actually put as much stuff as you want inside these squares. And as we type, it fills it up. Let's see what DreamWeaver wrote for the code. Just so you sort of have a sense of what it wrote. It started right here with the table tag. There's our width of 900 and that border of 1. TR is for rows, and every single row has a TD. TD is a square. You'll notice 1, 2, 3 squares in that row, and then the row ends. We start a new square, TD, 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 another 3. And so that's basically this. 1 row with 3 TDs and another row with another 3 TD tags. And that makes your stuff. Now, could you put a picture in here? Of course you could. I could just do a little insert image. Let me get one of my happy faces in there. Let's just change it to like a lot smaller because it's just a little product picture. So you'll see here, it looks okay. You'll notice the table does weird size changes once in a while. It works itself out. Don't worry about it. If you don't like the size, notice how the cursor changes. I can even change the size of my columns around. Little double click in there. Sorry, mine's going a little weird. There we go. I got it to work. My mouse doesn't quite work right with DreamWeaver when I'm recording the screen, if you're wondering why there's a little trouble there. Okay, but on your computer it should work fine. And you can even stretch the screen. See, I'm having trouble stretching it, but yours will be able to stretch. Now, there, I got it to work. Now, there's one thing to note here. Let's just give it a quick preview. See what this looks like. And that's what it looks like. Now notice the border is on. You can turn the border off, and if I actually have my table selected, you could go down here, turn the border to 0, and let's see what it looks like now. And you'll see you don't have to have those ugly lines. So if you had a big table, this is one nice way to get content here, some content here, some content here, yet it doesn't actually look like it's in a big table. So it's not a bad beginner method. Now let me show you 1 or 2 last little options with your table that you need to know about. A lot of students will be like, this starts at the top of the square here. This is at the top of the square. This one's hanging sort of in the middle. What do? Well, all you have to do is put your cursor in the square. You don't even need the stuff selected. And just make sure you're on HTML. And you'll see down here in the properties window, it says cell. That's what they call one of the squares in your table. You can say horizontal, jam the stuff to the left, and vertically put the stuff to the top. And you can do that with every single square. Left, top. And so what you're doing here is you're aligning the stuff in the boxes. Just to show you, I could say horizontal right, and it moves everything in that square to the right. Now you do have to do it square by square, okay? But at least that helps you move stuff around. You can even take bottom if you want, right? And so depending how you want your stuff to look, you can just use that simple little thing there. You can also take the squares and add a background color, which students seem to like to do. You can even put background pictures in there, but we'll leave that for another time. Anyways, that's the basics with your table. What can you use them for? Laying out products is nice because it definitely lets you imitate layouts that you'll see online with products. And some students even do stuff like this. Insert, table, and let's say I have 5 links. I can say 1 row, 5 columns, and I could say no thickness, or sorry, no border. And what I've made here is you could have links. So you could have link 1, link 2, link 3, link 4, link 5. That's not bad. Let's try to go into the code here and just put a little space between the tables with a BR tag or 2. And what you'll notice is if this was your actual page, when we preview now, you'll notice before when we did a bunch of links in a row, they were all jammed up, but now they're all nicely spaced apart. So that's a great way to do little links at the top of your page. Use a table. So I'm sure you'll find some good ways to use the table when you're coding. But that's it. Insert table, and there's set options in your properties window, and you are off and going. Pretty easy, pretty useful. Thanks for watching this one.